Hello and welcome to episode 4 of the Liberty for Fraley podcast. Once again, I'm Mitchell. That's Jared. Let's get right into the sports. So, obviously, on the day recording, this is Saturday, and the Sweet 16 is upon us. So, let's go through and make our predictions. First game on the slate, we got Loyola Chicago, Oregon State, the 12-8 matchup.
By the time this is out, we all get to be laughed at for if we're wrong already because
Or if Oral Roberts somehow beats Arkansas, too.
if they beat Arkansas, that's kind of no.
All right, so we got the highest ranking matchup, I believe, of all the Sweet 16,
Like
Oregon State, Loyola Chicago.
That's not the highest ranking. That's the lowest.
Lowest,
the
highest totaling ranking there.
Highest total number between the two teams. Yeah, 12-8. Sorry, it was Oregon State, right?
Yes.
Yes. So Loyola Chicago is the. I think they're one of the. They've always been one of the best defensive teams in the country.
Yeah, so, Oregon State has been carrying momentum since.
I feel like it'll stop here. Their offense will stop. And then yeah, I feel like Loyola Chicago. I mean, if they play like they did against Illinois,
I think Loyola Chicago should move on. I think Oregon State's momentum is going to slow down with the defense.
Is that game today?
It's at 2:40 today.
Oh, nice.
All right, then next game up, the local Philly team in Villanova plays Baylor. I think Villanova will get outplayed by Baylor just because of the death on Baylor, but I could see how Villanova could pull off an upset here.
You sounded like you said that, but they're not technically in Philadelphia though. But I know what you're saying. Yeah, I feel like their run stops here. I mean, usually, although if you've noticed in the past, it's either second round or they win the whole thing. But I think that trend ends this year.
All right.
Although to be fair, I said that the last time in 2018 as well. So, but I don't think they're going to be Baylor.
Yeah. All right. Next game up, we got Oral Roberts in Arkansas. That game's at 7:25 today, and I'm going to pick Arkansas. I think Oral Roberts should lose. If they win, I will gladly accept I was wrong. And every time I've picked Oral Roberts to lose, they have won. So I'm picking Arkansas.
Every time that all of us have. All right, so I think Arkansas will win. I hope Arkansas will win. I really just want Oral Roberts to end like their run. I hope their run ends. Kind of tired of seeing them. Seriously, if Arkansas chokes this one as well.
Yeah.
The one time that they're actually asked to do something, they fail.
Yeah, the winner of this game, Oral Roberts and Arkansas, they will play the winner of. Okay, if I can find it on the app here, they will play the winner of Baylor Villanova. So most likely, from what we're predicting, it would be Baylor Arkansas.
Okay.
Next game up, the team that will take on the winner of Oregon State Loyola Chicago, Syracuse and Houston. I'm going to go on a limb, and I believe Syracuse will win this game.
I don't. I mean, yeah, they've surprised us in the past with strong runs, like in 2016. Although I feel like they definitely struggled a bit in the bid game, with their shooting, the beginning of the second half against I think it was West Virginia, right? Yeah.
Yes. No. Houston. Oh yeah, Syracuse. Yes.
I'm talking about Syracuse. Yeah. So I feel like that'll come. I feel like they're really streaky, kind of in their play, and I feel like their run ends here. I think Houston will win, even though I feel like they should have been Syracuse Rutgers.
So I'm picking Syracuse here just because of what happened with the Rutgers game. Rutgers put up a good fight when their shots were going down, and once their shots stopped going in for them, the momentum's turned to Houston. I believe it's Syracuse continues the shooting they had in the first half against West Virginia and the entire game they had against San Diego State. I believe that they will beat Houston. So, and with my predictions, I have Loyola Chicago, Syracuse in my Elite Eight, and then with yours, you have Houston, Loyola Chicago. Yeah. But in general, I think if Loyola Chicago will make the Final Four, in my opinion.
Well, now with this bracket left, yeah. I actually think Loyola Chicago has the strongest
but they would have to play. Hopefully, Loyola Chicago has to play Oral Roberts because they would play most likely Baylor in the Final Four.
Well, I don't want Oral Roberts to beat Arkansas. Again, look, Baylor's a very offensive heavy team. Loyola Chicago is very balanced, so I can actually see them maybe even going to the final. At this rate, honestly, because I feel like the teams that could actually beat them either bowed out early or actually lost to them. So
yeah, if Loyola Chicago continues that great defense especially against Baylor, they have a pretty good chance.
I feel stupid. I didn't take into account that Sister Jean was going. I probably would have had them winning the championship otherwise.
If they win the championship, I will. I don't know what I'll do. I'm most
No,
likely.
I will find it hilarious if they get obliterated by Michigan again.
Oh,
They
that's
weren't
right.
exactly obliterated last time though.
Yeah. All
They were
right.
beaten pretty badly.
So that Syracuse Houston's the final game on today, starting tomorrow at 2 o'clock. We got Creighton Gonzaga, and I think Gonzaga runs away with this one. Creighton just no.
I really just want to watch a game where Jeffrey Anderson's the ref. That's it. Man, it's just so hilarious. Like it could be like a 40-point blowout, and I'd still watch the game just to see him, well, do his thing.
Mhm.
Oh man.
So I assume you probably have Gonzaga winning this game, probably too,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Yeah. All right, then we got up next Michigan, Florida State. Michigan is coming off a 8-point win against LSU, and
That was
Florida
a very
State's
back and
coming
forth.
out of a huge blowout win against Colorado.
So Florida State, if they keep up where they're going, Michigan was very streaky last game. So hopefully that issue will be solved. They'll just play like a very
Yeah, if
smooth,
Michigan continues
relaxed
that
game.
little streaky part, and they do have those parts where they go out without a basket for like more than like 3 minutes, I think Florida State can take advantage of that, and I wouldn't be surprised if I have Florida State winning this game. Yeah, I think if Michigan just has those scoring droughts like they've had these past couple of games, I believe Florida State will move on to the Elite Eight.
This is like really the only game I don't really have much confidence, or maybe not only, but like this is the one I'm least sure about. Like I feel like this is going to be a game. This is going to be a high scoring game. It's going to be very. I feel like Michigan hopefully won't be as streaky as they were last time. But if that's the case, it's going to be. I think Florida State will end up winning this game. But again, it all really comes down to if Michigan can actually like get a scoring drive going and like they keep it going. They don't slow down. They don't end up going in droughts. Like they 1 point they score like 10 points in 2 minutes, and then the next they don't score for like
Yeah.
4 minutes. That stop if that doesn't happen at all, they win this game. But if it does, it'll be much harder for them.
So here's the funny thing. This side of the bracket has 3 football school matchups. So we had Florida State, Michigan. Now next up we got UCLA and
Florida
Chip
State was
Kelly. We got Chip Kelly, UCLA, and
Florida State was
Alabama
both.
led by Nick Saban.
No, Florida State was both for a while, but then their basketball team slowed down, and now it's their football team that's underachieving. Well, not really
Yeah.
underachieving.
So who do you got winning, Chip Kelly or Nick Saban?
Please, Alabama.
I'm going to say UCLA. That's going to be my another upset this round. I have UCLA upsetting Alabama. So
I mean, you
that
had
means
Alabama
I
losing
have
last.
Florida State. No, wait. Yes, I
You
have
had
Florida State, UCLA in the Elite Eight.
you had Alabama losing last round too. I'm pretty sure, but then
Who
they.
were they playing last round?
I
Oh, I
forget.
had them losing to Maryland.
Yeah,
No, I
and
did not. I had them winning last round. I think I switched, but I could be wrong. I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure in your initial thing you said that Maryland, but you might have changed your mind. But I definitely feel like you said that Alabama was losing. But
Yeah, well, I was wrong, but now I'm saying that
now
they
you're
will
saying
lose.
that they're gonna lose.
Then we got Oregon, USC. I honestly do not know about this game. These are two pretty evenly matched teams, in my opinion.
I mean, USC just came off of a whooping on Kansas, so
And Oregon
hope
destroyed Luca Garza too.
either one. If one of them, one thing usually happens when that happens. Either one, they used up all their points last round, they go on an offensive drought, or two, they used that momentum and then
I
they.
believe Oregon will be the team to carry the momentum. USC had a
6-7, right?
huge
This is
drought this year at one
this,
point. Huh?
this is 6-7, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm picking an upset of Oregon over USC.
I don't really think like if it's a 1 seed difference, I don't consider it.
Oregon should be fresher as their first round matchup did get canceled against VCU.
Do you say 8? Did you say 8? Do you consider 8 and 9 really an upset?
No, seven.
Yeah,
I mean,
six,
like
seven
it's
isn't an
technically
upset.
an upset, but I'm
No,
not.
it really isn't. I don't consider that.
So I have Oregon winning it. Do you agree, or do you have USC?
Again, I'm not really confident with this one. I feel like
Whatever.
I feel like if USC uses that momentum from Kansas, then I think they'll win. But I feel like whoever controls a good portion of the first half, I feel like will be running away with this one.
Yeah, with that prediction, I still think Gonzaga is heading to the Final Four. So I like whatever team wins here, I believe they're going to lose.
Well, yeah.
So I believe my Final Four would be Gonzaga, Florida State.
Gonzaga playing each other themselves.
Yeah, I have Gonzaga, Florida State, Loyola, Chicago, and I have Baylor. And then with those, I believe that Gonzaga will make it to the finals. And I believe Loyola Chicago will actually upset and go to the finals. And then with the
I
defensive,
feel I feel Loyola Chicago doesn't is
I
the only
think
reason they're that
I'm
low
gonna
of a
go on a
seed.
limb. I'm gonna have Sister Jean winning this
I
tournament.
think Gonzaga will win, but here's the thing: I don't consider any of these matchups for Loyola Chicago upsets anymore. I feel like their talent level is pretty much even with the rest of the teams that they're
If
playing.
they just play
But
that same defense, they can beat everybody.
yes, and the thing is, the only reason I feel like they're as low of a seed as they are is because they're not in like a power conference. They're not in like or
True.
the Power
Yeah.
Five. They're not in like the American or not in like a good conference. They're just or the Big East. They're in like a weaker conference. So like nobody really. I mean, they had ended their drought not too long ago, and they were in a conference that nobody really heard of or cares about unless if you're obviously in said conference. But it's just like if it weren't for the conference there, if they were playing in like the Big Ten, they'd probably be like a 4 or a 5. Like I think, like again, they're talent. They have talent. It's just the conference they're in. That's the only reason why they're so low.
Yeah. I can agree with that. Moving on to the Eagles, who I'm wearing today, if you can't see. Yesterday there was kind of a blockbuster trade that I wasn't able really to follow as well due to my internet going out. But the Eagles, let me look up the full thing of the trade here.
I know the Dolphins gave up their third pick. They traded down to 12. The Niners got
They and then they
third.
yeah,
They
like the
swapped
main
up
so the
their pick.
huge thing that's overview, San Francisco now has a third, Dolphins now have the sixth, and the Eagles
Yeah.
now have the
And then
12th.
they gave and then I believe the Eagles got like didn't they get a future first as well? They got a third or something this year. I don't remember what it was,
They
but I
they
know.
have the possibility to have 3 first round picks next year.
Oh man. I mean, I'm honestly so I'm I don't know why I mean, at least the good thing is they won't be taking a receiver, and I really don't think they should. Everyone's saying like, oh, they should take a lineman, they should take this.
I
Yeah, have
I
they not
hopefully
paid
think at
attention to the
12,
secondary?
I hopefully think there's a corner there, or
I
if
really
Micah Parsons is there at 12, I am taking him. I don't care
mm,
about a corners. We can always get a corner second round.
but now I feel like there's a less chance. I feel like someone's going to take fairly before us, and that's not something I want to. I that's the one who I
All
wanted,
right,
but
here's the
they'll probably
full.
disappoint us and draft like a tight end or whatever.
Yeah, with Howie there, I don't understand. So here's the thing. Um, Dolphins sent the third pick to the 49ers in exchange for the 12th pick this year, a first and a third round pick in 2022, and a first round pick in 2023. Miami then dealt the number 12 pick, the number 123rd pick, and their 2020 first round pick to the Eagles in exchange for the number 6 and number 156 pick.
2020 first round pick. That was last year, buddy.
22. That was what I said. And then this,
Um,
they exchanged the number 6 pick and the number 156 picks in this year's draft. These blockbuster moves affirm the Dolphins this their offseason that they will build around quarterback Tua Tagovailoa.
that was beautiful pronunciation. Whenever you
Thank you.
mentioned
I will just say Tua from now on.
to Tagovailoa. Okay.
So with that move, I believe the Dolphins. I think the AFC East will have 3 teams in the playoffs next year. However, I don't think Tua will be the future answer to the
Three.
organization. So I think the Patriots, the Dolphins, and the Bills will all make the playoffs. But it's only because
Yeah.
with San Francisco trading up to the number 3 pick, it's became more likely that the Patriots will once again trade for Jimmy G. Even though they did sign Cam Newton, I can see him as a backup or heading to San Francisco.
I don't agree with that, but I feel I don't think the Patriots will make it this year. I feel like they'll be around where they were last year. Did you not? Were you not paying attention to the overpaying of former Eagles who kind of underachieved?
Oh no, Bill Belichick has a way of with people, and I think that
That's true, but I
will.
don't see him turning Jalen Mills around. I mean, the Dante Hightower may be coming back. That'll definitely. I mean, their defense once again, it wasn't the problem. It's their offense that was the problem. They need like pretty much everything.
Well, in the draft this year, they're probably going to draft a good tight end, I think, in their draft spot. Then
Didn't they just
later,
pick up a tight end, or am I thinking of? I know they have. They picked up.
oh, they signed a couple. That's
Yeah,
right.
they got Judon. I know that,
They're gonna draft maybe a receiver then. But they did. They signed any
but they
receivers?
always botch the receiver drafts. I feel like so.
Yeah, I don't know.
They
But
definitely do
that
need.
would be my hot take currently for next season is
They
if
should get. I don't even know where they're picking actually, so I don't know what they should who they should get because.
yeah, my hot take would be that the Patriots make the playoffs next year, and so do the Dolphins. Because I think
Everyone's going to be so excited for when the Patriots make the playoffs again.
so. I believe in the AFC West, it's just gonna be the Chiefs again. I don't think any other team in there is gonna do well.
I still don't
Justin
understand.
Herbert might be, but they haven't done enough at anything, and he's not there yet. The Raiders definitely not. The
Why
Raiders,
not?
I just don't
Not
see
an
it.
answer. You
They
don't see
need.
it.
They
I
just
mean,
need something. They don't.
I feel like the AFC is going to be West is going to be a bit weaker. I don't. Again, I
What
don't
team am I
believe
missing in the
in
AFC
the
West?
Broncos.
Well, yeah, that's why because I don't know. They're not making it either.
They're lagging
So
big time
then,
again.
so how many teams make the playoffs from each side? 7, right? With the new expanded playoffs for NFL.
It's still 7 both sides.
So I think the Chiefs will make it in the AFC North. I believe the Browns will make it. The Ravens will make it, and I think the Steelers miss it. I don't
I
know.
agree. Again,
Captain,
the defense.
the
I don't.
captain has made his last game and will sail off into the sunset in a burning flame of fire.
I know. I mean, here's the thing. Their offense is going to struggle, and I mean, like they're going to struggle, and
They have
so
Dwayne Haskins as a backup.
the defense is going to have to full on like I don't know, just pick up. They're gonna have to. They're gonna really need to play well. Like I mean, they did the last year in the regular season, so I mean, I feel like Mike Tomlin actually did really well in 2019 with very little. So I mean, I can see them doing that again. I could see like if anything, they'll get the 7th spot, but or 6th spot. I'll
Yeah.
see them winning the division.
So yeah, so that's I think the Browns will make a deeper playoff. They are possibly signing Davion Clowney. He came in for a visit and might sign, and I believe the Browns will make a trade at some point, maybe to fully commit themselves, or they will draft a good player in this year's draft that will send them over to the top. I don't know what position. I think they need a good another receiver because isn't
Who?
Odell a free agent or is he there for one more year?
I don't know, but they've got plenty of receivers. I think they'll be okay with what they need. They definitely need. I feel like they need a little bit of secondary help, maybe. But if
Odell
anything,
Beckham is a free agent. Okay. But yeah, I think the Browns are almost there. Then in the AFC South, I'm still gonna have the Colts making the playoffs, but I do have the Titans winning the division. So
they've also a little bit of their defense, and they haven't really done much to fix that, have they?
well, I think actually no, I think the Colts might win with Carson Wentz if he has a decent year. Like
I
if he
think
doesn't get
the
injured and he's okay, he'll be fine.
I think the Colts will. It's going to be the 2 of them, and I wouldn't be surprised if Jacksonville actually was
Jacksonville, if
hanging around.
Trevor Lawrence does good enough and they get some other good people in their draft, I believe that they could sneak in.
I mean, the whole situation that they're going through is kind of reminded me of last year's Dolphins. Like they were terrible, and then all of a sudden, like they got rid of everybody and now like all of a sudden, like a lot of big names are just going there for
Yeah,
so,
they're my dark horse candidate, I believe. And then for the AFC East,
I mean, I don't think Jacksonville will make it, but I think they'll do definitely.
for the AFC East, I think the Dolphins and the Bills are going to make it, but I can see how the Patriots and Jacksonville could sneak in. But I'd say the only team that will have possibly a lot. So in final, I probably have the Chiefs, the Browns, the Ravens, the Colts, the Titans, the no, not the Patriots, the Bills, and the Dolphins as my 7.
I definitely think the Dolphins and whoever the one of Indianapolis, whichever the one doesn't win the division, will get the wild card spots. The last one is up in the air for me.
The Ravens, you don't think they're gonna, or the Browns, you don't think?
Oh right, I forgot about the North, but yeah, so it's gonna be it's gonna be one of those 2.
Then
It'll be Baltimore or Cleveland, whichever one doesn't win. Same Indianapolis or Tennessee, whichever one doesn't win the division, and then Miami.
Yeah.
Because I think Buffalo will win the division.
So we got NFC.
As long as Pagula keeps his hands off the franchise.
True. All right, NFC East. I think the Redskins are. I'm sorry, name redacted. Don't cancel. The Washington Football Team.
There you go.
There we go. They're gonna win the division. I don't see how the Cowboys. They still don't have a knot.
the
Dak
Giants,
Prescott can only do so much. No,
the
I'm not.
Giants, they've gotten some
They gotten
functional
some good
people.
people, but
I
I
feel
like
like they're going
Washington's
to be
defense. I
I
could
do too. I feel like they really like they went from not being able to tackle anything and then Chase Young,
Ryan
and then
Fitzpatrick will make the
they
playoffs.
it's Ryan, but they'll add in then all of a sudden they just add in Chase Young and all of a sudden like everybody just gets so much better and they're good defense. And like the
Yeah,
Giants, I feel like it's the Giants will win, and but Washington I feel like will be hanging around.
yeah. I
Hopefully
think
their division will be as pathetic
Fitz
as
Magic
possible.
stays Fitz Magic and doesn't become horrible. But they have Heineke as their backup.
The only
So
one that I see, no, and they paid him a lot too. The only one I don't really see like being in the mix is the Eagles. I feel like everyone else
yeah,
is.
you think?
I feel like everyone else is capable of achieving a winning record.
Yeah. All right. Next off, um, AFC NFC North. I have the Packers, and that's basically it. I just have the Packers out of there. Maybe the
The lagging
Lions sneak
Packers.
in, but they don't have a lot there. They're a couple years away. I say the Packers are the only team
Oh,
out of that
that's fine.
division.
I think Minnesota could potentially get in because it's an odd
Really?
year. So
Mm,
it's an odd year.
yeah,
They
that's
make it in
true.
the odd. They've been making it in odd years only for some reason. But I mean, yeah, actually, they did lose a lot of their. I think their defense is still pathetic. So although they did just get some offensive line help, so maybe Kirk Cousins won't be running for his life as much. But when in doubt, if you're a Vikings fan, when in doubt, blame Kirk Cousins. But
Yeah.
actually, it is an odd year, so I feel like Minnesota might sneak in. But actually, I forgot about their whole defensive situation. It still isn't that good.
And I don't think Andy Dalton's do much for Chicago.
And then, yeah, Chicago. I don't know. Their defense has got to be
I
better.
would say the Lions, if they get a good do something good in this draft, I can see them maybe sneaking into a wild card spot.
It's the Lions.
Then again, the NFC West, I'm gonna go back to the NFC South. The NFC North, NFC West, I have
Yeah,
the Rams and the Cardinals making it, and the Seahawks. I think they'll still make it. So that's my that NFC South. Oh,
that this is
uh,
tough.
Tampa
Actually, no, it's
Bay
not. Tampa.
and Tampa Bay, and
That's it.
that's it. And then
That's
I would
all I see.
say I'll probably
I think
throw the
Atlanta will have another Atlanta season. Like they start off
yeah.
0-7 or whatever, and then they win like 7 out of their last 9.
So in total, I think it's going to be the Giants and the name redacted, the Washington football team, the Packers, the
I agree.
Cardinals, Rams, and Seahawks, and then just Tampa Bay out of the NFC South. So that's my 7.
I don't know who's going to win the NFC West. I actually think the Rams will. It will be
I
between
think Matthew Stafford
Seattle and
finally
Arizona.
spreads his wings and becomes that quarterback we all know and love. And
Well,
they have
no,
Deshaun
Stafford's
Jackson.
always been good. It's just the team around him hasn't.
No,
I
I think this is where he finally
I
shines
yeah,
himself.
I feel like Matthew Stafford has been both the one of the most underrated yet one of the most overrated quarterbacks in the league. I feel like, but most of the
Yeah.
time he's underrated. Like he's definitely as the one of the best fantasy because he does a lot in garbage time. But like again, the team around like he was playing like with a pathetic offensive line. He played like 7 years straight, and then all of a sudden the line was never good for him, and then that came back to haunt him. And he's been injured a lot, but Stafford's been I feel like he's been hated a lot more. He definitely deserves more respect, and hopefully with the
Mm.
Rams better structure of the Rams, then I feel it hopefully he'll at least have a way better year.
Yeah. So my predictions for Super Bowl 56, right? That's next year.
I'm not even gonna bother with that. We're still too far out.
I know it's way too far off. Are way, way, way. My at least predictions is that
11 months from now.
out of the
10
NFC,
months
I'm
from
gonna
now.
have in the ANC Championship. I think it's gonna be the Rams and the
You mean the NFC because you just said the Rams,
NFC.
but then
No, wait, what? Yeah, the NFC. I have the Rams and the Buccaneers out of the
the
NFC.
oh no.
I think somehow the Cardinals don't. Kyle Murray still gets
Okay.
injured.
I don't know. I don't think that'll happen. Oh,
I mean,
hopefully.
out of the
But
NFC, I don't think the Seahawks are making it. They're gonna choke.
I
The
just
Giants and
don't
Cowboys, no. I mean,
I just
the
want to
name
predict it.
redacted, no.
Dude, we're
I
10 and a half months out. Just don't bother with it.
all right, my way
Just
too
don't bother.
early. It's gonna be Matthew Stafford versus the Browns. That's my prediction right now.
Yeah, that's a dream prediction for
I
you.
know, but I think the Browns
I'm not gonna
come back
bother
with
with that.
vengeance. But that's to be honestly, that would be the best Super Bowl matchup. Matthew Stafford going for his Super Bowl, as well as the Cleveland Browns looking for their first Super Bowl.
I wouldn't mind seeing Cleveland or Buffalo in the Super Bowl.
I think that's what I think. I think the Chiefs play the Bills early in the playoffs, and the Bills win this year. And then I think the Bills play the Browns, but the Browns beat them because I think they'll have a Cleveland home game, and I think that carries over.
I mean, Kansas City just reduced their line significantly. Like
Yeah,
line
if you
quality
just have a
significantly, and
decent front
They
rush,
lost out on Trent Williams too. So I
if you
mean, I
have
feel like it's
if
good. Buffalo's got a good defense. So
yeah, if you have a good front rush, you're gonna beat the Chiefs this year. That's their weakness right now. I
Mahomes is
think
gonna
at some
run
point they might trade
ball on.
for a good offensive lineman if everything's going south, but if, as we seen last
They're
year,
probably
Patrick
gonna have to draft
Mahomes,
a lineman.
he's injured.
Or
Like he can get injured. Like that turf toe that he had and going out against Browns almost cost them going to the Super Bowl. So, but anything is possible. All right, I had to put that in there. But yeah, that would be an
yeah,
interesting.
anything's possible. Jacksonville could win the Super Bowl this year. Yeah, no.
Urban Meyer in the first year of the college
I'm
football
sorry, the
playoff
college
wins it.
coaches
First
tend
year in
not to do well
NFL
in
wins the
the
Super
NFL.
Bowl. All right, moving
If
on.
you are active NFL who went in college who oh, I'm lagging. For you were lagging, so I was probably lagging for you. Sorry, but the only college coach that I know of that ended up doing well in the NFL is Pete Carroll.
Yeah,
I mean, Jim Harbaugh actually did well, but he's not in the NFL anymore.
he went the opposite direction. Actually, no, he did start in college.
No. Jim Harbaugh started in college. I
He's
forget
college
where.
in San Diego.
Oh, and then he went to the and then
Stanford. He went
to
to
the
San
Niners.
Diego, Stanford,
No.
then San Fran.
Oh yeah, he was Stanford. That's right. And then he went to the Niners, and then now he's with Michigan and underachieving.
Yeah. All right, moving on. We got the Sixers at this year's trade deadline. As Jared may know, I was disappointed with the trade they made for
I
George
wish you
Hill.
all his reaction. It was priceless.
Yeah, to be honest, with all the things going on and what came out in the end, like if Lowry did go to the Heat, I was gonna be mad. But for the price they were wanting for him, I would rather risk trying to get him in free agency rather than giving away everybody.
He's still in Toronto, right?
Yes, he is, and he still wants a 2-year, $50 million contract out of free agency. But I believe that we can find a way to get some contracts off the books this year.
Doesn't
And
Tobias Harris make more than that?
Tobias Harris, current contract,
I know
he signed the max.
Yeah, I know. So Chris Middleton also.
He's 5-year, $180 million. So that in total is
Wait. I can do this. 30.
36 million. So
yeah,
he's getting paid $11 million than what Kyle Lowry wants.
That's.
But I still think the Sixers are still title contenders.
I mean, Tobias Harris is playing up to his contract, but they still should not have given him that. Like hindsight excluded that was a terrible contract.
So that was my opinion. I still believe that once Joel Embiid comes back, the Sixers will pull away in the standings. And the fact that they have went 9-1 in their last 10 without Joel Embiid, and when especially beating the Lakers without a center last night, 2 nights ago, I still think they might lose tonight to the Clippers. They just got who did this got? They just got Rajon Rondo in a trade to the Hawks. Yeah, whatever. But I do believe that
no, I don't know if that's actually how you pronounce it because he rages all the time.
Joel Embiid, I believe, will possibly return against Cleveland or against Denver. He is days away from returning, as from President Daryl Morey.
In fact, he also said that about returning for the Clippers game, but that's not happening.
Yeah, I said that he might return for the Clippers game, but I believe it probably would be a better option to play him in Denver and against Cleveland, especially against a team like Cleveland that we haven't beat all year. But I think that comes to an end. No, we lost to overtime to them once, and we got blown out because we weren't playing Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid the one time. So I believe that tonight, if we continue the same effort that we had last night, and Dwight Howard doesn't get ejected, I think we're winning tonight. I cannot.
Did they win last night?
They beat the Lakers 2 nights ago. Yes, they did.
Okay.
Danny Green scored 28 points.
I'm still. I mean.
So, but in all honesty, it's still predicted that Joel Embiid will return before the Sixers return home, and Joel Embiid will make his home fans debut Saturday, April 3rd against the Minnesota Timberwolves. So I believe if Joel Embiid does return, say for Denver and Cleveland, I believe the Sixers will finish out this road trip with 2-1. I think they might lose tonight against the Clippers, but in all honesty, I think they could possibly go 3-0 if Joel Embiid returns.
I remember the old days when Rondo was a Celtic.
Yeah.
At times.
But right now the Sixers have a pretty easy schedule going forward, and if Joel Embiid comes back and he's healthy and continues their production, the Sixers, with the moves that they have made, will go on and win the NBA championship, in my opinion.
They'll lose. They'll find a way to lose to the Celtics.
They're not gonna. The Celtics are right now. The Sixers are playing the winner of the Heat Pacers. No, wait. So the Heat played the Celtics, and I think the Heat will win. So that means the Celtics would play the winner of the Pacers Bulls, and the Bulls made some moves. So, and the
well.
I
That's
think the
right now.
Bulls. I think my understated dark horse to making that 8th seed is the Chicago Bulls. They spent at the deadline. They got rid of some contracts and brought in 2 great players. I believe the Chicago Bulls will make the playoffs, and the Celtics, unfortunately, actually no, I have the Hornets moving out of the playoffs. Somehow they are 23-21 since they have won 3 games straight since losing LaMelo Ball. However, I think their luck comes to an end and they drop out, possibly even the Hawks. But I think the Bulls will make the playoffs in some way.
No.
What?
Oh, you're lagging a little bit again, but I remember you guys were all saying about this stuff last year. Yeah, the other Sixers are way better doing. They have much more talent. They're gonna beat the Celtics. They did it 3 times out of 4 in the regular season. Yeah, got swept.
Yeah, Al Horford and Ben Simmons was hurt, and Joel Embiid was also hurt.
Ben Simmons is awful in the playoffs anyway, so that's not really much of it.
I mean,
remember that 1-point performance he had that one year? Oh yeah, that was quite nice.
Yeah, but I think
and
that
Duncan, I remember the WIP.
if everything were to stay the same right now and we exclude the play-in tournament, it would be the Sixers Heat. That would be a tough series. However, I think the Sixers would still win. And then it would be the Nets Celtics. Who do you think would win that one? Probably the Nets, right? You think the Celtics would beat the Nets in a 5-game series?
It's a 5-game series.
I think first round. Is it first round 5?
It's been 7 for.
Oh no, I'm thinking of something else. I'm thinking of baseball.
Mm-hmm. I remember it wasn't too long ago where the NBA and for a little while the NHL also had a 5-game first round. But
so yeah, so you think in a 7-game series the Nets will beat the Celtics, or no?
I don't know. I don't see it. I mean, again, I feel like the Celtics will get it together, but
I still think the Nets will move on, and then yeah.
I honestly just want to see this. Just so I can be proven right again, and I get to laugh at the Sixers fandom. I really just want to see the Celtics beat the Sixers again.
So in order for that to happen, so say you have the Celtics beating the Nets, then you also have the Bucks over the Hawks, I assume. Giannis and company.
Well, I mean, again, it's as of right now. The standings will probably not be the exact same at the end of the season. So
just use your imagination.
I honestly could see the Celtics getting it together, like in a couple of weeks.
So I forget, how does the NBA bracket work?
They'll get the
1-8 NBA.
There's no reseeding in the there's no reseeding.
So. I know there's no reseeding, but who would
well,
they
at least
play?
I don't think there is.
I'm just trying to look at this. So what would be?
Yeah, no. If I think the Celtics will get it together.
Okay, so it's 1-8 plays the winner of 4-5. So that means the Sixers play the winner of the Hawks Knicks. So I'm just assuming they win.
Right now. Again, it's not going to be the same
exact. Well, so we possibly, in your opinion, want to play the Celtics until the semifinals.
The conference finals.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. Well. No matter what round it is, they'll still lose to the Celtics. Even if they're not playing the Celtics, they'll still no. They'll lose to themselves if they're not playing the Celtics. But if they actually play the Celtics, then they'll lose to the Celtics.
Yeah. The last time the Nets were in the playoffs, they got obliterated by Joel Embiid.
Who did? The Nets?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well.
And then we all know what happened last year. The Raptors beat the Nets, and then who made it to the finals? The Celtics. So the Celtics swept the Sixers.
The last time the Sixers made the playoffs, so they got obliterated by the Heat, or not the Heat, the Celtics. Hello.
Yes. Who did the Celtics beat the Raptors, or did the Raptors beat the Celtics last year?
The Celtics went. Remember the Patrice Bergeron reference? The Celtics beat.
That's right. Yeah.
Boston, Toronto in a game. No matter what sport it is, Boston will beat Toronto in a game 7.
Yep. So
in a home game 7. I mean,
yeah.
sorry.
So the Celtics beat. Oh, that's right.
And then they lost to the Heat. They lost, I think, in 4 or 5 to the Heat.
The Heat were a 5th seed last year.
They're really underachieving this year.
They are, and honestly, they did add Victor Oladipo, but I just don't. They started too late.
Well, now he won't be struck by lightning anymore because oh wait, he's in Miami. Yes, he will still be struck by lightning.
You would literally move to the lightning capital of the world, Jared.
No, that's Tampa.
I
The
was
most
to say
the what gets the
The
most light.
Raptors are playing in Toronto. I was like,
No,
wait
no,
a minute.
the spot area that gets the most lightning is the right in between Tampa and Orlando.
Hmm. All right, moving on. We got the Philadelphia Phillies. The opening day is in 5 days on Thursday, April Fool's Day.
But before we do that, the trivia question.
Let's add in Jared's trivia question. What is
So,
your
what was the old name of the Wells Fargo Center? Like before they switched the name of the stadium in the summer of 2010 to the Wells Fargo Center. Something along those. I believe it was around that. Right after the Flyers lost in the Cup final, they changed it to the Wells Fargo Center. What was it before then? All right, now we can talk about the Phillies.
So the Phillies, do you think
No,
so? We opening day, we
I
already have
don't know.
two 40-man spots that need to be opened.
But I thought the 40-man doesn't start
No,
until
well,
September or
till
whatever. Or
Thursday.
are they changing it this
No,
year?
Thursday. Thursday is the day of which, because they want to add Matt Joyce and Brandon Kinsler have already guaranteed their spots on the 26-man roster right
Right.
now, and they're all both non-roster invitees. The Phillies have a full 40-man roster right now, and they also still have to add possibly even Abdul Herrera to the roster in order for him to be there.
Ugh, I'm hearing more sirens. Oh my god. Imagine if I was saying that in the Midwest though. So I really don't know because every time I think something, they do the exact opposite. So I'm not a person to judge this one.
Yeah. Well, today's lineup against the Tigers, we got Adam Hazley, JT Realmuto, Abdul Herrera, Matt Joyce, Scott Kingery, Derek Hall, Ronald Torres, Nick Maton, and Luke Williams. And then Aaron Nola is on the
Remember when
mound.
there was a Nick Williams on the team?
Yeah, he's in Chicago and he did pretty well during spring training. I don't
Which
know if
Chicago team?
the White Sox.
Okay.
I don't know how he did. I think he did pretty well. I don't know if he made the team or not. I think he's start off in
I don't
AAA.
know why, but like it's the same city, but the White Sox fans for some reason are just so much better than the Cubs fans.
Yeah, they
They're
are.
in the same
Nick
city.
Williams in
And the
34 spring training at bats.
White Sox fans have EDP now, so
So 2021, spring training, Nicky Dubs had 34 at bats, 10 hits, 1 home run, 1 RBI, and 1 stolen base for a 294 average, a 351 on base percentage, and 851 OPS.
not bad. He'll probably be like a bench guy.
And he has been optioned to Charlotte, I believe. Is that what that team is?
Well, Charlotte.
It's whatever their AAA
I
team
mean, I'm
is.
pretty
I
sure the
believe.
Giant, or if it was somebody, I think it was the Giants, had like a AA team all the way out here. So,
He was originally claimed by the Reds and then was claimed by the White Sox after he was released.
yeah, well,
Yes, he hasn't been officially been assigned, but I believe that he is going to be.
I mean, again, I don't see him cracking this. I don't think he'll be.
He's not, but he's gonna be a great depth piece if this continues his.
The only way that I see him starting is if there goes to like a rebuilding team or whatever, like Baltimore. Maybe. I mean, he'll probably be a cheap option for Tampa because I know how much their owner doesn't like to pay people.
Oh, that's right. Nicky Williams came from the Cole Hamels trade. Cole Hamels, Jake Dykman, and cash to the Rangers
It's
for Matt Harris.
buddy.
For Matt Harrison, Jorge Alfaro, Jared Eichhoff, Nick Williams, Alex Asher, and Jake Thompson. None of those people are on
Isn't it
any of
Alec
those.
Asher? What is it with you in adding Alex instead of Alec? It's Alec Asher, who was with the Orioles for a little
Cole
bit.
Hamels still hasn't signed with the team. You know that?
Time to retire.
He might be like a midseason addition, but yeah.
Like, I know he played like a exponent, like a really good amount of time after he was traded away, but I still think they should retire 35.
Yeah.
I miss prime Cole Hamels.
True.
He got screwed over in Game 5 of the ALDS in 2015.
That's right. Yeah, he did.
He was the starter, and then the infielders decided to die. Specifically, Andrews decided to die with his glove. He was a Gold Glover too, I think, that year. Maybe not, but he definitely is a good defensive player, and his glove and his defensive abilities clearly forgot to go with him to Canada for Game 5.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why he's the Toronto hero.
True. Jay Bruce has been officially added to the Yankees opening day roster.
Bruce.
Yeah, it's good. But yeah,
Remember when Nelson Cruz was an Oriole?
how long was he there? Like for 2 days.
1 year, a full year. He was on the 2014 team that won to the
Remember when
ALC.
Jake Arrieta was on the Orioles?
Nope. I actually didn't even know that he was an Oriole until I found like that one video. And I didn't realize that Rizzo was not drafted by the Cubs. I thought he was. He was a Padres prospect. And I also thought Miggy was always a Tiger, but nope, he was with the Marlins. I'm pretty sure he was on the World Series team too, I think. The 03
Yeah.
one, at least. Definitely not the 97, but I'm pretty sure he was on the 03 team. Yeah, I knew he was old. I didn't realize he was 37.
All right.
He was going to be the show cover.
The team that we saved last to talk about deserves the least amount of attention right now.
Oh yeah,
and it is the Philadelphia Flyers.
Yeah, he won the World Series in his rookie year with the Marlins in 2003.
How do you feel about the Flyers being in
Awful.
They're tied for fourth place. No, tied for fifth place right now.
The only bad downside about being so addicted to hockey right now is that I'm mad at the Flyers 24/7. They lost another second game in a row against the Rangers. They allowed a natural hat trick to Zibanejad. Second game in a row they allowed a ridiculous amount of goals. I mean, at least they scored a few this time. But seriously, man, this is giving me flashbacks of like the early mid 2012 like 10s after they got rid of Bobrovsky when they had like these goaltending issues like
I don't
Brizgal.
know. There's so many things wrong.
This is giving me flashbacks to when they allowed 10 goals in a playoff game to the Penguins. They thankfully still won that series, but 10 goals.
I don't know what you can do to help this Flyers team at this point. Like,
wait, actually, I think Bobrovsky was on that team. I'm pretty sure Brizgal.
You can trade like your defense and try to figure out what the heck's going on with them, but like it's just puck handling. This team just doesn't know how. Like once we get to the blue line, we're passing it like 15 feet, like 15 yards in front of us.
Never mind. Bobrovsky was on the 2012 team, but still.
He was traded for Steve Mason, right?
No, I'm pretty sure they let him walk in free agency.
Are you sure? Because I can remember Bobrovsky went to the Blue Jackets.
Oh no, he was traded for a second round pick, which the Flyers used to select Anthony Stolarz. He's still, I don't know why they traded him away, the Flyers. A fourth round pick, which was Taylor Lear, and the Coyotes' fourth round pick in the 2013 draft. So it was 3 draft picks. I'm pretty sure Steve Mason was Steve Mason was actually, those two were on the same team in Columbus, and then Steve Mason, I believe, left a couple years afterwards. Let's see. Oh no, he was traded for Michael Leighton and a 2015 third round pick. I guess that was Leighton's second stint, because I'm pretty sure he left the year after. He went to the Flyers, and then he spent some time in the minors, and then he came back up. So never mind, he actually was with the Flyers. He was just in the minors for a long time, and then he went to Chicago. Then he was in the minors with Columbus, and then he went to Chicago.
And I don't know what to do with this Flyers team. I think if they make some moves, they could get that 4th spot, but I don't know at this point. But another trade news in the NHL, Eric Staal has been traded away from the Buffalo Sabres to the Montreal Canadiens for, I believe, a 3rd and a 5th round pick.
And Staal will do significantly better because Buffalo.
Yes. Buffalo has lost their last 16 games, and the Flyers have lost their last 4.
Well, now our losing streak seems like nothing. But I honestly am willing to bet, though, that the Flyers have probably allowed more goals than the Sabres have in their losing streak.
Speaking of that, they play in 35 minutes.
Who, the Flyers do? Nice.
So,
wait, 35 or 25?
They play at 1.
So 25 minutes. But yeah, probably 35 because they won't start until later. Oh, they're playing the Rangers. Please don't allow, just honestly,
over under I don't goals care what probably 12.
Just pretty much just kill me because of Chat and they'll win the game.
That's what I made a comment on some guy saying like
last game.
Like it's just some guy said that Flyers play Saturday and the Sixers play, this would be the best day ever. And I just said that one of those teams will lose by 10 points, and it's not going to be the Sixers.
Exactly.
Well, it's technically 10 goals, but
whatever. Like, it's still, you're still not wrong. Like, just pretty much just basically put 3 guys on Mika Zibanejad and like at all time. Like pretty much whenever he's on the ice, you have to have like one guy this close to him, like the whole game. And like they'll be okay.
Plus Carter Hart is just
like never let Mika Zibanejad touch the puck for more than a second.
He's not turning into like the new Ovechkin against the Flyers.
No, Ovechkin's still good against the Flyers.
Well, that's all the time we have today. Jared, do you want to restate your trivia question?
Yes. So the answer to the question, what was the Wells Fargo Center called before? Well, the Wells Fargo Center. I'm not sure if this is how it's pronounced, but I believe it was because that's what I heard from a couple other people. But Wachovia, the Wachovia Center.
Yes, the Wachovia Center, and then the one before that was the Spectrum Center.
Nearly a decade before that, it was just it was just the Spectrum. The Spectrum.
Yes.
Beautiful. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that's the only. Was the link always called Lincoln Financial Field?
I believe it was always called Lincoln Financial Field.
And Citizens Bank Park has always been Citizens Bank Park. I know that for sure.
Yes, but that's all the time we have.
Stadium that has been renamed.
That's true. Yeah. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Once again, thank you for tuning in for the Liberty for Philly podcast, episode 4. Make sure you hit like, subscribe, and the notification bell so you never miss a podcast that comes out every Sunday. We'll see you next time.